At most large wineries, when it's time to bottle wine, they turn to large automated bottling machines to do the work. But smaller wineries sometimes bottle by hand. Yes, by hand, one bottle at a time. Wine insiders know that bottling by hand may be time-consuming, but in some ways, it's also part of the fun.
Okay, let's grab these last two here.
When you own a small winery like Vance Sharp does, you get used to doing the work yourself.
Okay.
Sharp Cellars is the name of Vance's winery in California's Sonoma wine country.
Our production of wine that we're bottling is about 155 cases. That's a very small production.
Today, Vance is working with his winemaker, Tony Couturi, to hand bottle their wine.
Tony is he's my Zen man.
Tony's in charge of filling the bottles.
You want some headspace in the bottle because the wine will expand when it warms up. So you have to have anywhere from an eighth to a quarter inch of room up there to allow the wine to expand and contract with temperature. This is for topping or taking out too much wine. So if there's too much wine, obviously pour a little in, and if there's not enough, pour a little back in.
Tony's been hand bottling for years, so he says he doesn't need tools to make precise measurements.
One time I figured out we've done over 1.5 million bottles like this. So yeah.
Many big wineries have large assembly lines for bottling. Mobile bottling lines even set up shop in the back of tractor trailers. But for Vance and Tony's small operation, they say hand bottling is the way to go.
When dealing with a small amount, it's cheaper to hand bottle. It's just plain and simple.
A little elbow grease forces the cork into the bottle.
That which a person is looking for when they're looking for a hand-bottled cork is that little indentation there. That way you know this was not machine corked, this was hand corked. That happens. That happens. We shed tears naturally.
The next step is putting foil on each bottle top.
We put it into a machine which has it's got this little function where it's kind of spinning, and it will put pressure on it and squeeze that foil onto the bottle. I'm just wiping down the residual wine that spilled on the bottles as we filled them. And this is just to ensure that we have a good adhesive.
The final touch is the label, which of course gets stuck on by hand.
And I decided to put the elephant on the bottle because I wanted to put something that symbolized the continent of Africa, thereby representing my heritage. And then I place it in the box upside down because I want the wine to be in contact with the cork. That's to keep that cork moist. We don't want that cork to be drying out.
And that's the story of how wine goes from barrel to bottle by hand.
Okay, that's a wrap.